And so I said, God, what does that have to do with what I asked you? I'm trying to figure out how the devil didn't hear your plan. He said, go to Luke chapter 10 and verse 18. The Bible said, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven, God. And so when Satan fell, he descended into low altitude where there was high atmospheric pressure, and it ruined his auditory organs. And so he couldn't hear the plan of it. Oh, God, y'all ain't going to talk to me. Tell somebody he can't even hear it. He can't even hear it. That's why you can talk about your dream. You can talk about your promise. You can talk about where God is getting ready to take you, because he can't even hear what you're trying to. The devil's hearing became impaired, because when he was removed from heaven, he was removed from the word. And Romans chapter 10 verse 17 tells us that hearing comes by the word. And so if you don't have the word, you don't have no hearing. God. So because Satan was spiritually deaf, Jesus was able to prophesy what he was going to do and then watch it happen just the way he said it. Would you look at your neighbor and tell him, say, Jesus is a bad boy. He know what he's doing. He always got a plan. He always knows what the next move is. So when Jesus was crucified, when he was hanging on the cross, when he was bleeding, when he was getting beat up, Satan thought he was winning. Satan thought that he had control. He thought that he was executing his own plan, but what he was really doing was fulfilling the prophecy that Jesus had already gave. God, I feel like, and I came to tell about 15 of y'all that your enemies are really working for you, and they don't even realize it. Would you look at somebody and tell them, say, neighbor, your enemies are your employees. Tell them, say, just let them work. Just let them work. I know they talking about you. I know they hating on you. I know they always got something to say about what you doing and how you preaching and what you got on and why you late to church and what you doing in your personal life. But your enemies are working for you. Tell them they're going to push you to your destiny. They're going to push you to your destiny. They're going to push you. Oh, they're going to push you to your destiny. They're going to push you. But what you got to do is you got to let them think they winning. So sometimes you got to let them think that they affecting you and let them think that they getting you down and let them think they getting the upper hand and let them think they on top. But on Sunday morning, I'm going to show you who really in charge. I feel like preaching this morning. Can I have some volunteers, please? I need about 4 people. I need to show you something. I need 2 of y'all over here and 2 of y'all over here. Listen, Satan thought he was winning the game. When Jesus was being crucified, Satan thought he was in charge. And the Holy Ghost gave it to me in the form of a football huddle. Because before each play, both teams, they come together and they discuss their strategy. Am I right? And so the leader of the team tells his team, this is what we're getting ready to do. And the ball is placed between the 2 teams so that the defense can't come over to the offense and hear what their strategy is. Yeah. Because if you're not on my team, then you can't be in my huddle. And if you're not in my huddle, then you can't hear my strategy. And maybe I need to speak to about 15 of y'all and tell you that make sure that everybody is in your huddle is on your team. So watch this. Jesus was on offense because he was getting ready to win back man's dominion. And the devil was on defense because he apprehended it from Adam and he was trying to defend it. So y'all gonna be Jesus' team. And I'm sorry, y'all. Robert got on red and black, so we're gonna let y'all be Satan's team. It's just for the illustration. I love y'all. So watch this. Jesus' team is on this side, and Satan's team is on this side, and the ball is in the middle. The word is the ball. Because I said that the ball keeps the defense from hearing what the offense is doing. And I told you that the Bible declares that faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the ball. So watch this. Satan, y'all huddle up. Come this way. Satan was in his huddle. He talking about Jesus is the only good player they got. They ain't got nobody else. I know they got some folk that say they preaching and say they prophesying, but Jesus is the only good player they got. So if we take him and we beat him up and we spit on him, we're going to humiliate him. We're going to tear him up. They're going to be done with. But watch this. Jesus was over in his huddle. He said, watch this. They know I'm the Son of God. And so they think that if they take me and kill me, then that's going to be the end of it. So watch this. I'm going to let them arrest me. Y'all ain't talking to me in here. I'm going to let them beat me up. I'm going to let them humiliate me. I'm going to let them spit on me. But there's one more part to the play that they didn't hear about. In 3 days, y'all go ahead and sit down. Y'all tell somebody he getting ready to get up again. Sometimes you got to let your enemy think they're getting the best of you. But in 3 days, I'm going to get up again. Let's go to our text so I can get out of your way. Verse 31, it says, behold, we go up to Jerusalem, and all things that were written by the prophets concerning the Son of Man shall be accomplished. For he shall be delivered unto the Gentiles, and he shall be mocked and spitefully entreated and spitted on, and they shall scourge him and put him to death, and the third day he shall rise again. Now watch this. The power of the text is that he knew he was going to be resurrected before he was even crucified. Let me say it again for about 10 of y'all that missed it. The power of the text is that he knew that he was going to get up before he even went down. And I came to tell you that there's power in knowing the end while you're still in the middle. There's power in knowing where you're going while you're still where you're at. There's power in knowing I'm getting ready to get some money even though I ain't got none right now. There's power in knowing I'm about to get a new car even though my present car is raggedy. There's power in knowing I'm about to get a new house even though this house is falling apart. Tell somebody you got to know the end. You got to know the end. Yeah. Because despite my present circumstance, I know that it's going to be all right because I understand that at the end of it all, I'm going to rise again. Would you look at your neighbor and tell him, say, at the end of it all, you're going to rise again. Yeah, you're going to get up again. You're going to get up again. I didn't come to tell you that the struggle is over because that would be a lie. I didn't come to tell you that the pain is over because that would be a lie. I didn't come to tell you that the fight is over because that would be a lie. I didn't come to tell you that your trials and hardships is over because that would be a lie. But I came to tell about 15 folk in here that the Bible declares many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord shall deliver them out of them all. Would you look at somebody that's sitting down and tell them, say, neighbor, you're going to rise again. You're going to rise again. You're going to rise again. Watch this. When I was a kid, I used to go to the arcade. And there was a game that I liked in the arcade that was called Whack-A-Mole. There was a game I used to play called Whack-A-Mole. And what would happen is that the mole would come up out of the hole and the player would have a mallet in his hand and he would smack that mole on his head. and the mole would go back down into the hole. But what I found out is that no matter how much or how hard you hit the mole, he gonna come back up again. Okay, I came to talk to about 15 moles up in here that can testify that the devil is wondering how I'm still standing. The devil is wondering how I'm still praising. The devil is wondering how I'm still in the house of God, because he hit me with everything he got. He hit me with sickness. He hit me with pain. He hit me with relationship problems. He hit me with everything he could hit me with. But all of a sudden I rose again. Tell somebody the devil don't understand your resilience. The devil don't understand how you're still standing. The devil don't understand how you're still praising him. That's why when you come in the house of God, we try to encourage you to get in the praises, because praise confuses the enemy. Because when he sees you praising, he say, ain't that Chantel that I knocked down last week? Ain't that Kim that I knocked down last week? But somehow they made it back into the house of God, and they didn't just come in and look sad and sorry, but they came in with a praise. Do I got anybody in here that could give God a praise? Because I'm getting ready to rise again. The devil thought it was over. The devil thought I was finished. He thought I gave up because he knocked me over. But in 3 days, tell somebody, in 3 days, I'm getting ready to get up again. In my finances, I'm getting back up. In my relationship, I'm getting back up. Me and my marriage, I'm getting back up. Yes, sir. Tell somebody, I'm getting back up. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Listen, I'm not talking to the glass jaw saints. I'm not talking to the saints that fall and don't want to get up. I'm not talking to the saints that give up and throw in the towel. But I'm talking to the resilient saints that say, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. I've been through the storm and the rain. I've had heartache and I sure enough had pain. But through it all, I still got my joy. Somebody shout yes, shout yeah, shout yeah, yeah. A lot of times I watch a channel called the Big Ten Network. I watch the Big Ten Network, and they show a lot of reruns. So somebody say rerun. Now watch this. They show a lot of classic Big Ten games that I've already seen before. So when I'm watching a rerun, my team might start losing. But because I've already seen the game before, I already know who's getting ready to win. Let me give it to you again. Because I've already seen the game before, I know who's getting ready to win. So watch this. Revelation 13:8 calls Jesus the Lamb that was slain before the foundation of the world. So look at your neighbor and tell him, say, neighbor, the only thing Jesus did when he came to earth was air a rerun of what already happened in heaven. Tell somebody he already did it. So watch this. Jesus could endure Friday because he knew Sunday was coming. Yeah. He could go through Friday because he already knew Sunday is on the way. Because on Friday, he was arrested. He was accused. He was assaulted. And he was afflicted. But he could go through it because he knew that Sunday was coming. On Friday, he was slapped and he was spit upon and he was harassed and humiliated. But he could go through it because he knew Sunday was coming. Y'all gonna get with me after a while? On Friday, he was nailed in his feet and he was nailed in his hands. And they put a crown of thorns on his head. But he could go through it because he knew. Y'all gonna get with me after a while? On Friday, he hung his head and he bled and he died. But he could go through it because he knew that. Would you look at your neighbor and tell him, say, neighbor, the reason that I can go through what I'm going through is because I understand that Sunday is coming. Watch this. On Friday, hell threw a party. On Friday, hell was having Mardi Gras. They was having a party because they thought that Jesus was dead. So they messed around.